And we are live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. Welcome to stream. It is August 20th, 2026. Big show tonight. We are going to be covering the Lindsay Clancy stuff, which is absolutely insane. I believe their GoFundMe is over $1 million now. We're going to be covering Sean Duffy, who is part of the Trump administration. I don't know if they're doing a TV show or whatnot, but he had a conversation with his younger daughter about it's probably going to be a no on going to Harvard, and here's why. And there's some things that I can notice right away about this young girl that I don't know if there's any amount of parenting that can save, no matter if you do everything the right way from the religious aspect and the parenting way and being good people. Liberalism has a way of infiltrating the minds of young people, and once they're in, it's pretty dangerous. And then we're also going to cover a lot of red pill stuff, a lot of female delusion here tonight. Shocker. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for being here, as always, supporting our show. Please subscribe to the channel. Please gift a sub. Please like the video. That helps put us at the top of the algorithm and continue doing what we do. Also, feel free to get the merch, standinonmerch.com. We are going to just run that real quick. Got to sell the soap because, well, why not? Oh, shit. Our website's down currently. Fuck. All right. Well, you guys have seen it in the past. It'll get back up. I don't know why that's down right now. But get the merch, standinonmerch.com. It'll be up by the time you guys probably see this. But hoodies, crew necks, T-shirts, Delusion collection there, Comply or Goodbye collection, and very affordably priced. So, yeah, let's get into our first story tonight. Man, this is... So we're going to go Lindsay Clancy, this stuff outside the courthouse, and the GoFundMe, and then we're going to get into... Let me just fly through these real quick for you guys. So we're going to do Lindsay Clancy. Then Jack Posobiec had a tweet about this. The Sean Duffy clip of him and his daughter, which, by the way, 4 million views. And then we're going to get into a lot of red pill stuff with female delusion. Also, we got a lot of data coming back from the number of unmarried young men in America is surging. And we'll get into that, and then a bunch of other red pill stuff too. Like the video. Hold on one sec. Y'all love my voice. I got to protect it, man. All right. So let's watch this.
Many women in one place at one time who may understand all of us on a level that others
don't. 10 million views, by the way, guys. For those of you that are listening on audio, please come to Kick or YouTube to watch. If you're on Spotify, you can watch the video too after the fact. But the video is basically a bunch of women in pink. The TikTok women saying that she's innocent, absolutely delusional. Here we go. Oh my God, bro. Look at this. These women are pure evil, bro. That's honestly what I see when I see this this picture and video, by the way. So, give me my take on this. And as we do that, I want to find the GoFundMe. Let's find it. Because it was at $1 million. This was as of a couple days ago. I believe it's more now. Can we get a link? Yeah, it's over 1 million now. I got to find a link. Oh, 10. Here we go. Okay, so this was Fear Buck as of, yes. Oh, today at 11:30. Okay. I heard they're over 1 million now. $969,000, bro. Now, let me give you my take on this topic because a lot of women are going to get into the whole postpartum conversation and they don't think I'm educated, but here we go. The Lindsay Clancy case is a microcosm of a much bigger problem we have in America: women being held accountable. Now, you can go to the angle of postpartum, and of course, we understand that it can make women go into a completely different version of themselves, think very dark things, get into depression, and even worse, as we see in the Clancy case. But you're not going to sit here and tell me that someone who, by the way, she admitted to killing her 3 kids, the defense came out and said this. They're using the she is crazy angle, so she doesn't get the death penalty and can be used in a lot lesser of light in terms of the death penalty. Now, I don't know if Massachusetts has the death penalty. This is where it's out of. But even if they do, even if they don't, regardless, you have a bunch of women protesting out there saying she's innocent and the husband made her do this.
Stupid.
This is where we are. Zero accountability for a 3-time child murderer, by the way.
Fatality.
This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. And this case is only going to get worse. This is like the slippery slope of, as I like to call, the feminism final boss. It's crazy, man, that this is where we are. And I don't know. I mean, I understand postpartum has its things. I've talked to a lot of people about this topic, especially before covering this more in depth as we have. But like, let's just say, even if it did, right, cause her to go crazy and do this, the way that she killed the kids was the same mythology that serial killers use. Same exact one. Now, again, you can make the claim of, okay, well, postpartum takes a woman in the deepest case to that brain point. But it's not that I have an issue with the pleading, etc. I'm not a lawyer, never claimed to be one. But it's the reaction from a bunch of women that they want the man to be so guilty, so bad. This is where we are. Now, let me make it clear. Is this all women? Of course not. There's tons of women that are very pleasant and nice and good people. They exist. But if you notice, the women that are on social media defending her, 30 plus, no kids typically, feminists, and big-time liberals. Yeah, the shoe always fits, and the stereotypes continue to be rooted in reality. But obviously, this case is obviously so bad in so many ways. But this level of protesting, and now you have a GoFundMe upwards of $1 million. It's crazy, man. Like, guys, and I know we're on YouTube, so I got to be careful about this topic. But we got to be really careful with who we elect and we give our power to. And have you ever noticed that the overwhelming majority of liberal politicians that get voted in, that then bring liberal policies, are voted in by women? No one's ready for that conversation. It needs to be had because a bunch of men that are sane individuals are not voting for said policies. They're just not. And the numbers back me up on this. The data backs me up on this. And the research that we've done here certainly backs me up on this. And we got to have a serious conversation because, like, you can't let people like this, who you can make the claim she's the exception to the rule, she has this postpartum issue, she's not really sure who she is, she turned into crazy, whatever, right? Even if that's true, the fact, it's not even just her, it's the other women. It's the other women that are coming out in support of this because they want the man to be guilty so bad is the root of all of our problems. This misandry, which, hey, by the way, is accepted, for those of you that don't know, That is the hating of all men or men. And misogyny is the hating of women. See, my position on hating is simply this. Hold up, I think I lost our sound deck. All right, sorry guys, you guys might have heard the scratch 3 times. Anyway, here's my position on this topic. The reason why I don't respect haters is simply this. It is very easy to hate in your life. It requires little energy, little time, and a whole lot of jealousy. And the reason that I don't respect haters is simply this as well. Hating is easy. What is easy is not respected. So I can't respect people that take the easy way out and want to go the hater route. So it's very weird how misandry, which is the hatred of men, is totally okay in our society. Totally okay. But I come on here and I'm critical of women, and I also give them criticism to get better because I'm telling you the advice your father hasn't told you, your brother hasn't told you, any other male in your life hasn't told you because they want the relationship with you. But I'm being very real about this topic because I want to really help everybody be happy. That's the whole reason why I do what I do. Through all the clips and controversy and criticism and maybe abrasive things that I say and do, the whole angle is I actually do care. I want everybody to be happy. And sometimes in order to get to the happiness, there's got to be a lot of tough love. And unfortunately, a lot of people, including maybe you too, live in this world that isn't real. And I just live in the world as real. So yeah, man, this is where we are, guys. This is where we are. I know that was a long rant, but this is nuts, guys. Absolutely fucking crazy. I want to find the actual GoFundMe link. I'm going to try to look for it right now. I'm pissed that our merch link is down. I'm going to have to fucking message somebody about this. What's their GoFundMe called? We're going to find it right now. Think they took it down? Oh my God, it's right here. So it's not $1 million yet. I misspoke. $986,000 for a 3-time child murderer. My gosh. This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are. Anyway, so that's an update on that. I know we kind of watched on the Law and Crime Network the other night the breakdown. I can't go through the comments. I already know it's going to be some weird shit in there. It's going to be some crazy shit I'll probably get banned for. Okay. So Jack Posobiec, in response to all this stuff. So someone posted a compilation video. I'm not going to play the sound. It's annoying. Of a bunch of women just getting angry. It's a trend. And throwing ice cubes in a bathtub. I kid you not. You guys got to see this shit. Come over to kick.com, YouTube, Spotify to watch the video. Look at this. Throwing full-blown ice cubes in rage to release anger. You know, every single day I wake up and I'm incredibly grateful that I'm not with a girl like this. Holy shit. Can you, like, and these are women that, hey, by the way, have the right to vote, drive cars, go out in society and have to be civilized people. Can you imagine if for 1 second, just one, men went out in society and acted like this? Fucking mayhem. Crazy, man. Like, this is a trend. Also, common denominator with all these women. Out of shape, over the hill, fat, abrasive, masculine, and very violent as far as I'm concerned. And it's crazy because a lot of you guys right now are dealing with girls. Maybe a girl you're dating. You like her, you think she's cool. Fuck all that. how is she going to be as a mom? If there is even an inkling of doubt, yeah, guys, you can't take it seriously. I think our stream cut. Hold up. Hold up, everybody. Hey, man, I am not immune to the technical difficulties sometimes. That's life. Unless Kick just went down. My YouTube people, hopefully you guys are still here, but Kick went down for me on my end. I'm also monitoring the stream, but anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, guys, you can't be dealing with girls like this. This is horrible. Horrible. And Jack Posobiec tweeted, or X'd, right? The amount of young female rage and anger out there is beyond what many believed imaginable. Very true. And you guys got to be real careful with the girls you're dealing with. Man, like any hint of, and I'll put you guys on right now, okay? As a seasoned vet, all right? Call me Udonis Haslam of dating. Gentlemen, you need to be very weary of a woman that you're dating or dealing with right now. If she's violent, if she's loud, if she's abrasive, if she's masculine, she has any sort of tendency to be violent, can't take her seriously. Can't do it. Because that eventually is going to have to be someone you raise your kids with. And this Lindsay Clancy case is a very sobering moment for all of us to realize there are a lot of deranged women out there. And I don't really know. Sometimes you're not really going to know until you know. But that's one of the scariest parts about this whole thing. Crazy, man. Absolutely insane. Why is the stream freezing? Hold up, guys. It shouldn't be freezing. It's kind of annoying. Oh, I didn't know that Candace went on with Young Turks. All right, guys. Let's see if this continues to freeze. I'm going to be annoyed if it does. It shouldn't be freezing, which my CPU is really low. Fuck. It could be my Wi-Fi is chopped. All right, let's see if I'm still frozen. Hold up. I think I'm here. Think I'm live. But yeah, guys, that's what Jack Posobiec tweeted about this. So why is this down? What is going on with the stream? It says I have good connection too. CPU is low, good connection. All right. All right, we'll continue. I'll try and monitor it. Sorry, that's really fucking annoying. But yeah, guys, you got to be real careful with the girl you're dealing with. Just very plain and simple. Because they're going to end up turning into these fucking women throwing ice cubes in a bathtub because they have so much rage. And this leads right into our next topic with Sean Duffy really preparing his daughter on the liberalism that's on these college campuses. And this is where they, and I think he says it maybe in this clip or a different clip, but they have figured out how to take good young women and corrupt their minds. Let's break this down.
Can't say no.
To Harvard?
Yeah.
Well, me and Mom can say no.
Catholicism, to us, is everything. It's the basis of our marriage. It's the basis of our family. So I'm nervous about the idea of Paloma going to Harvard. We spend a lot of time nurturing and providing formation for our kids, giving them an environment where they are steeped in faith and values. And so the idea of dropping her off at a place that would undermine that or try to undo all those things makes me worried.
And again, I don't want them to get one viewpoint. I want them to get a lot of different viewpoints. But I don't want them fed only one viewpoint that's contrary to the way my kids were raised. Listen, my problem is we have thought about how we raised you and how hard we've worked to, I think, raise what is a remarkable young girl. If I send you there...
You can tell she is seething. Now look, to be fair, she's like a 16 or 17-year-old girl, right? So take that into consideration, take it with a grain of salt. And when you're 16 and 17, you think you know everything, you know the world, etc. But something on the phone, on social media, has already corrupted her. You can see it in the way her mannerisms are, her hand. Guys, I pay attention to everything. And of course, this could be just partly because she's a 16, 17-year-old girl, or however old she is, and she's trying to go to college and do the right thing. And this is a very classic case, right? But I don't know. I'm good at reading body language, and I can already tell, like, the liberalism has seeped into her. And it's just like, come on to the dark side. Come over to the dark side. That's the energy that this is giving.
I think what happens is they have professionalized figuring out how they can take good young girls like you and, I think, corrupt their minds.
Spot on.
You don't have to believe what I believe. You don't have to have the political viewpoints that I have. But I do think it's important that you make those choices for yourself and you have a fair representation of what they are. And I don't think the Harvards of the world give you that kind of well-rounded picture.
Honestly, W father. And, of course, women and retarded people, whoops,
Nope.
have been running with this, being like, he's such a bad dad and how dare he. But this is an example of what good parenting looks like. A very good example, actually. But let's take it back to this point really quick. Let me find it.
Raised you?
Hold up. I'm going to find it. Am I slow? There it is. Okay, fantastic. What Sean Duffy is doing with his child is amazing. He's protecting her. He's giving her a light on what's really going on. He's not yelling. He's not being abrasive. He's being a really good dad. And people on social media have been taking with this and running with it in every worst imaginable way. I'm going to crash out because the stream keeps crashing. I don't know if it is on your guys' end. Tell me if it is. If it isn't, on my end, it keeps crashing out. And I'm getting very annoyed. Let me do this again. Okay. Because I'm very annoyed at this point. Guys, technical difficulties, man. Sometimes you just can't ignore them. Come on. Man, our CPU is so low, our connection's so good. Maybe it's just my internal thing. Anyway. What Sean Duffy is doing to protect his daughter from the deep-rooted liberalism and feminism is fantastic. And a lot of people have been attacking him and his wife and his family for his position on these topics when it comes to, hey, I just don't really feel comfortable with you going to a school like a Harvard that is very liberal, that takes very good young women and corrupts their minds. And you can see in this clip that she already had some sort of liberalism seep in. Her hands are kind of like angry. And mind you, she's a 16, 17-year-old girl, okay? We have to take that with a grain of salt. But at the same time, we have to realize that as good of parenting as you can do, as much religion as you can put your kids upon and put them around good people and give them good values, these people are so good at these universities of taking young women and absolutely corrupting them to hate everything. It's one of the worst mind viruses of all time. So in my position, W. Sean Duffy, W. his wife, and this is good parenting. Now people on social media are seeing this being like, well, he shouldn't do that and he's control. It's her father. He's very powerful. He knows how these institutions work at a very deep level. He's trying to protect her. Now, like you and like I, at one point when we were 16 or 17, we just thought we knew everything, which maybe we did. Maybe I did. I don't know. But at the same time, you can already see just the way that she's holding her hands and she's kind of like grasped, like the liberalism has already seeped in. And this is why, guys, you got to like completely ban your kids from phones. Like ban them. And you don't know what it's like to... Sure, fair. But I'm telling you, this device here is the worst possible thing that ever happened. Worst possible thing. And it's not bad for people like myself that can actually have a lot of, what's the word here? Composure, but that's not the right word. I have a lot of maturity. But what this device really is for is to get into the hands of a lot of young people and control the way that they think. That's the whole goal. It's the whole intended goal behind it. So, yeah, man, W. Sean Duffy and his family, but he's really just trying to protect his daughter here. And you can see she is not thrilled.
If I send you there, I think what happens is they have professionalized figuring out how they can take good young girls like you and I think corrupt their minds. You don't have to believe what I believe. You don't have to have the political viewpoints that I have, but I do think it's important that you make those choices for yourself and you have a fair representation of what they are. And I don't think the Harvards of the world give you that kind of well-rounded picture.
I completely agree with that one. Sorry, guys. But yeah, man, the comments are going to be, oh my God, here we go. Bunch of idiots in the I'm not even going to give these Twitter trolls any time of day. They're fucking stupid. But yeah, this clip went pretty viral. I mean, almost 5 million views. And W. Sean Duffy, man. Anyway, back to the show. All right, we're going to get into some red pill stuff now, what you guys have been waiting for. I know you guys love when I react to this stuff. Another thing, too, real quick. What Sean Duffy and his wife are doing with their daughter is amazing. They're giving her space to think, space to talk, creating a very calm environment. And he's also educating her on what it's like at these institutions. That's a huge W. But you can already see just the way that she's standing there and the way that she's curious about it. Liberalism and feminism at these college institutions has a very funny way of taking good young women and turning them into man haters, world haters, hating everything that is against them. Meanwhile, everything in your life you have because of you and nobody else. So, yeah, W. Sean Duffy and his wife. But, man, the liberalism shit is crazy. Man. So, back to the show. Let's listen to this one. Okay, so this girl said that she would break up with her boyfriend if she can't go to the club.
Oh, well.
It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch this.
Your man says he doesn't want you to go to the club by yourself.
I will break up with him.
Your boyfriend? For real?
Yes, for real.
You think?
So please explain to me why you need to go to the club if you have a boyfriend. Shouldn't your boyfriend be giving you every single thing that the club can give you? Plus, you can go do similar things with him. Another example of They want one foot in the relationship and one foot out at all times. It's not how these things work, dude.
He's being insecure if he tells you that?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't own me, so.
And that's where we disagree. That's exactly where we disagree. Now, look, I don't have a Western view on dating. I know that. People don't like it. It's abrasive. It's messed up. But look, there's a reason why Islam, Christianity are very right on this topic. They can be vastly different in the way they look at things, etc. But when it comes to having your women in check, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, Islam has a lot of great truths. I can disagree with parts of it. And also, being Catholic, I understand that Christianity and the Bible has a lot of great truths too. But the Quran and the Bible, as much as people want to believe they're very, very different, which they can be, actually still look at, and I don't want to get into theological conversation, but they at least still respect Jesus, right? And they respect the sanctity of a God, which of course Islam's different with God and Jesus and things like that. But at least Islam gives Jesus the respect, unlike some other religions.
Fatality.
That's all I'll say on that topic. But they have a lot of good truths in them. I've studied them a lot. I want to be as well read on these topics as I possibly can be. And this is just cooked, dude. I mean, this girl's fat, 30 plus years old, not wearing clothes, no bra on. You could see her tits. Like, again, for sex only. And if you guys are gooners, cool. But it's just, and she's getting fried in the comments. But this is nuts, dude. Like, I gotta, this is gonna be controversial. I know we're on YouTube, but fuck it. Your boyfriend has a lot of control over you because he's putting his life on the line for you in any situation. He's providing for you in every situation, and he's protecting you from yourself. So yeah, I would say that the boyfriend has a lot of power in being like, hey, you know, that doesn't really make me feel comfortable. And he's not a bad guy for doing so. But for some reason, when men come in, and they're not saying, oh, don't do this, woman. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable with this. All of a sudden now, you can't tell me what to do. Back to the streets you go.
She belongs to the streets.
What if your man says he doesn't want you to go to the club?
And this could be rage bait, etc., but I do think this is a generic street interview. And as much as I'm angry with how she's responding, because I'm not really angry, it's just what it is, you guys got to stop tolerating this bullshit. And the only reason why you guys tolerate it is because this is your only access to sex. It's pathetic. It's genuinely pathetic. You guys have no sort of self-control, any sort of abstinence. Guys, I'm telling you, the second that you start having self-control and abstinence and you don't allow women to roll the other head of your life, life becomes very peaceful and a lot better. Now, look, a lot of you can be like, "Wayne, you Miami and girls and Instagram influencers and model." I've had my fun. Make it clear, okay? But the thing is, a lot of guys haven't. And I can take my brain back to a point where I would be the boyfriend of her in the situation where you have a scarcity mindset, you haven't dealt with enough girls, and you haven't really had enough experiences to where your body's like, all right, I'm good. And that's what I always urge all of you guys to do. Like, don't take these girls seriously. Like, the worst thing you could do is take a girl like this seriously. Because I guarantee you, if he asked, all right, let's see your phone right now, she's probably talking to another dude. Or two. Or three.
She belongs to the streets.
All right, let's get into this data real quick. So, new data came out from the, this is from 2025 Family Studies. They just posted this on X, though, a few days ago. Almost 1 million views. So, it's from the current population survey. You guys don't really care, etc. So this is the number of unmarried men surging from ages 20 to 39. So our ballpark of our demographic of people, right? And for you guys watching, you can see the graph. The purple is the men that are unmarried, and the yellow, orange, whatever that is the people that are married. And if you take it from the beginning of the study from 2000, you had about 20 million men, 21 million men in 2000 unmarried. Okay, so 21 million men in 2000 unmarried. In 2000, you had about 18 million men married. So that distinction isn't that far off, about almost half, right? Look at this graph. Look at the widening gap. And this is what we call deep-rooted feminism. Women saying they don't need a man anymore, the introduction of the smartphone, social media, and now a bunch of women with podcast mics that should be tariffed 100%. I'd even argue 1,000% tariff. Or don't even, honestly, stop giving them mics, dude. Just cut it out. And right around the 2000, you'll notice the gap significantly gets way bigger from about 2015 to 20. That's when the biggest gap happens. Well, what happens then? Call Her Daddy. The explosion of Call Her Daddy, one of the top female podcasts in the world from one of my favorite people, Dumb and Dumber.
Stupid.
Well, one of the dumb twins. And I got to laugh about it because I get really annoyed. But what that has done is created this culture of girls being 304s, promiscuous, like to its final resolution. And we are to where we are today in 2025, of course, a year ago. And I'm sure this number didn't just change, probably got worse. So in 2000, 18 million men were married. 21 million men were married, okay? 25-year, fast forward. We now have 3 million men less that were married from then 2000. So 15 million men married in 2000, or in 2025, and 30.4 million men unmarried. So the discrepancy, if you look at this line graph, from 2000 to 2025, unmarried men went from 20 million to 30 million, okay? But married men went from 18 million to 15 million. What does this tell us? This tells us that marriage is down across the board. Divorce rates are at an all-time high. If you're dating a woman, there is a 2/3 chance she's very likely to leave you. 70% of women initiate divorce. College-educated women that have a bachelor's degree and or master's degree and higher, 80% chance of divorcing you. The numbers just aren't in your favor. Now, am I telling you to not get married? No, well, maybe. But you guys got to look at these numbers because you got to recognize, hey, I'm working hard right now. I'm creating wealth, assets, influence, etc. Very careful the girl you bring into your situation. And a lot of you guys, as I just mentioned, are very scarcity driven and don't have girls. So when you don't have girls, you are like, holy shit, when am I going to get laid again? And I've said this before.
That was easy.
Well, that was easy. The number one grievance in America from American men is their dry streak. Number one grievance. And this graph is doing a great job of explaining what's happening. We have from 2000 to 2025, just in 25 years, which is a long time, we have the amount of married men then to married men now dropping off precipitously, and the amount of unmarried men from then to now went up precipitously. That tells us where we are in the market. And you got to remember this too, guys. 2/3 of women are going to initiate a breakup with you. 70% of women initiate divorce. And of college-educated women, including master's degrees, 80% are likely to divorce you. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean not get married? No. But that means be smart about it. That means not get married through the state until the marriage laws are changed, which they're not going to be. Be very diligent. Keep your head on your shoulders. And you need to get clarity and think with the right head. If you can do that, you'll protect yourself against every sort of adversity that comes your way when dealing with women. That's where we are, folks. But I wanted to share this with you guys because this is absolutely insane. Crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Man, I gotta protect my voice. So, yes, here we are, guys. Here we are. So, anyway, back to the show. All right, this is something we're going to just watch some of these and I'll give my reaction to.
Plan on settling down?
No.
The second you guys hear that, like if you need to ask girls these questions, by the way. Oh, do you plan on settling, etc.? She tells you no, you know that you're just there for a fun time and not a long time.
She belongs to the streets.
That's exactly what time it is. So I don't even I'm not going to waste much time on this topic. Girls like this that are like, oh, I don't want to settle. Like, guys, just know, like, you're not. Hopefully, most of you understand that. But a lot of you guys are fucking stupid. Yes, I'm calling men stupid right now for the feminists out there. A lot of men are fucking stupid. Very stupid. I would see this in the last 8 months that we've been hiring aggressively at Ant Digital for all consulting. I have seen how stupid and low IQ a lot of men are. And I didn't really think it was this bad. And of course, the people I'm hiring in a lot of cases could be younger, getting out of college. I was not that fucking stupid coming out of college.
Stupid. Fatality.
And you guys got to really be able to decipher the difference here. Okay, so when a girl, like, the second she says no, don't press her on it. Don't try and change. You're not going to change her. And some of you guys got to stop looking at dating like Bitcoin in 2010. And I say that to the guys that got into Bitcoin in 2010, the early days, right? Now, as you guys know, I've said this publicly, I got in 2017, so still pretty early. It was like $450 a coin, which is, compared to now, the price is, what, 64,000? We could probably include that in the bottom ticker at some point. But I like just playing the stocks there because it's a lot safer. But yeah, like, you guys got to stop treating women like they're Bitcoin in 2010. Like, there's no sort of explosion that's going to happen from a girl that's just like, not really. Because Bitcoin in 2010 was just like whatever. It was pretty small. No one really knew anything about it. And then yours truly gets lucky in 2017 and life changes from there. But yeah, you guys got to stop looking at women like this because it's very dangerous. And like, I'm not even going to get mad at her. I'm not going to like go hard. This is just accept how they are and keep it pushing. That's just the best advice I can give you.
No, I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. I want to be by myself because I'm independent and...
Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound familiar to every TikTok and Instagram influencer that you've ever heard that's a woman? As I've mentioned before, women don't have their own thoughts. They're just repeating what somebody else said. That right there, that like talking point and script, I've heard it from every influencer girl that hates men. And this girl's like 19 years old.
Who's going to take care of you when you're 60, though, or 70?
Me.
Feminism final boss. And more than likely, this girl doesn't have a father. She doesn't have a strong male in her life. And I do feel bad. I will say, like, I do feel bad for girls that are, because, like, she doesn't need to think like this. What compelled her to think like this and now act like this? And by the way, her doing this on camera, she thinks she's like cool and chic, and which we'll get into one of those videos here soon, of a woman that's saying a divorcee is chic. Fucking stupid, man.
Stupid.
But yeah, guys, just don't take these girls seriously. It's the best way I can say it.
Me, myself, and I. And yeah.
What about your boyfriend, though? Don't you want to stay with them till then?
Maybe if he stays good. Yes, but if not, then no.
Okay, you can survive on yourself.
Yes, I can.
Why don't you want to have a family?
I feel like when girls like know they want marriage or kids, they know that from a young age. But I've never wanted that. Like, never once there.
And hey, that's okay. It's not natural for her to not want that. That's a different conversation. That's a lot of deep-rooted liberalism and feminism. We know that. But guys, like, you hear shit like this when girls tell, like, you're at the bar or you're talking to her, etc., and you're trying to get laid. Get in and get out and just don't take her seriously. Now, I actually have a new position on this topic. New position on this topic. Gentlemen, the best thing that you guys can do, and you've heard this from everyone that's older, and now I'm telling you, here we are again. The best thing you guys can do is not deal with women at all. The reason I say that is kind of contradicts what I've said previously of deal with as many women as possible, understand how they move, etc. No. Watch yours truly. We'll watch these videos, break them down, give you insight analysis, and I'll tell you how they move. Now, I understand a lot of you need to go put your hand on the stove to get burned. Some of you are really fucking stupid.
Stupid.
However, dealing with women will be one of the biggest, greatest distractions and downfall that you're going to have as a young man. Look what's going on with Andrew and Tristan right now. Andrew and Tristan are sitting in jail. They have 7 days until they're even going to be seen by a judge again because of some bullshit that a girl threw at them, an accusation, and they're being held in a country that they're not even facing charges, the United States of America, because of a female. And do you think that they knew that this was going to happen? No. But when you become as big as they do and influential, the easiest way to take you down is via girls. So if you're a young man out there and you're building yourself up and you're continuing to do your thing, go to the gym, don't drink, don't do drugs. That's for losers all the way. Losers all the way. Focus on your business, make money, work a normal job, drive Uber, do whatever you have to do, okay? Until you reach my age of 28. Your brain is going to be so mature and stable and clear that women that come in like this are never going to be able to throw you off. That's some of the best advice I can give to you young guys. Now, of course, a lot of you young guys are young and you want to deal with girls and these girls are hot. I get it. Look, man, I've had my fun. Completely get it. But if you want to do something big, the biggest downfall is going to be females. Biggest downfall. Because that's the fastest way people can attack you. And the whole system is against you when it comes to that topic. You don't have to take my advice. I'm not here to try to convince you. But what I am here to do is to be the older brother that you never have had. Or if you did have, he didn't tell you this. Crazy, man. But girls like this will ruin your life, dude. This is the type of girl that'll hit you with an allegation, bro.
There was like a glimmer of me that was like, oh, I want kids and a husband. No.
Do you ever plan on settling down?
No. No, I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. I want to be my...
Yeah, right here, this feminism final boss. Anyway, next topic. Shout out to Tucker.
Believe all women? Women. They don't. Most men I know, I include myself in this, are much more likely to believe what women say than other women are. Did you ever talk to women? Do you know any women? Ask women how they assess the claims of other women. They're like, she's lying. So stop it with your dumb posturing. I'm not falling for this. You know who doesn't believe all women? Women.
Yeah, that's also a black pill. That's a very black pill conversation that
they don't.
A lot of women are not prepared for. It's a big black pill. You want to know how I know this to be true? Let me tell you how. Luckily for yours truly, my family is predominantly women. Strong women. They're mothers now, wives, girlfriends, amazing people, okay? And it is just ever so funny anytime another woman's brought up or a situation of another girl, how so fast they're able to see through the bullshit and read right through it and give you a quick answer. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, how'd you guys do that so fast? Tucker's right about this topic. He is absolutely right about this topic.
Most men I know, I include myself in this, are much more likely to believe what women say.
That's another part too. And again, gets back to what I say too. A lot of you guys are pussy whipped. Keep it all the way 1,000. You have scarcity mindset. You don't really have a girl, or if you do, you have her by the skin of her teeth. So you just let her do what she wants. Let her come and go as she pleases. 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the relationship, just because you want access to sex. That's a massive L. You're going to have to reach a point to where you can tell those women,
she belongs to the streets.
Send her back to the streets. Do your thing. Work, grind, stay focused, keep the main thing the main thing. Until you reach a point where you're sitting there looking at everything you have and you're like, wow, I'm so grateful that A, God protected me from a lot of bullets dodged, which yours truly has dodged a lot of bullets, come out stronger from it, versus be in a situation with a girl and your life be completely ruined. That's all I'm telling you. For a young guy, it's like the worst thing you could possibly have happened to you. And I know this, and I've said this before. A lot of guys that watch my content are also married and or have kids and or divorced. A lot of divorced guys. And they always tell me, like, whether it's through DM, which, by the way, shout out to you guys on DM. Some of these clips are from you guys. So, yeah, we'll definitely be reacting to more clips and things that you guys see. I know it doesn't let you put links in the chat, but if you send it to our DM on Instagram at Standin on Pod, if I see them in the request, we'll put them up and we'll cover them on the show if they're relevant enough. But guys, don't send weird shit, please. It's just stupid, and then you're never going to get seen again. So if you want me to cover something, I will. But a lot of guys that are divorced and have been married, etc., and have kids always urge me to speak about these topics to young men because A, I have a great finger on the scale of what's going on. B, I have a lot of experience with this. And C, we have a lot of research, data, statistics, and other things to back that up. And that combination together is very dangerous for a lot of people. But yeah, guys, the pursuit of women, man, I didn't understand this until this year. Keeping it all the way 1,000 with you guys. I did not understand that until this year. How important it is to just be. But at the same time, and this is a little contradictory, if I didn't have the experiences I did with so many different girls, I still think I'd be chasing it, if that makes sense. So I do get it on both angles. But man, if you can stay locked in and just avoid them at all costs, continue to be a good person, be deep-rooted in your faith, you can become a very, very desired person. I'm telling you, that's the trick. Man, these topics are segueing perfect.
Hi. When you remove God out of the picture, why do you guys believe the divorce rate is so high? When you remove God out of the picture, a relationship is based on your ability to bring me pleasure, comfort, your ability to give me psychic fulfillment. And if you lose your ability to turn me on, give me psychic fulfillment, bring me comfort and pleasure, why shouldn't I divorce you and go out and find somebody else who turns me on a little more? And the problem is that leads to profound loneliness because it condemns me to incredibly superficial relationships that are all based on your ability to please me. And if you please me, I'll stick with you. But if you lose your ability to please me, bye-bye, I'm out of here. Why do you guys believe the divorce rate is so high? When you remove God out of the picture, a relationship is based on your ability to bring me pleasure, comfort.
Very profound thing that he's saying about this topic, by the way. Very profound. When you remove God, you remove everything. And I know I've been talking about this a lot, but man, it is just ever so important for you guys to find some sort of faith and belief in something. And to man, I don't know why it's like all hitting me at once. Maybe it hit you guys sooner. But dude, like, you cannot take, fuck everything else I say. You physically cannot take a girl seriously if she's not fearful of God. You can't. Because every worldview that you have, everything that you do, how you move, etc., there's going to be a problem with it. Now, of course, there's going to be other things that you need to have together outside of that. But that's the central foundation. And I don't care if you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're I don't care. You got to believe in something. Because I'm telling that is the biggest fundamental problem. And you guys will notice that when she doesn't fear God or you don't fear God, like you don't have a belief in something, you're not going to have an ability to connect to the deepest emotional level and spiritual level that you possibly can ever get to. It's just not going to happen. And when you fear God, you fear the way that you live your life. It's not having fear of, oh my God, that's not what I'm talking about. Having a fear that there is a greater power, a greater will, something that you respect and admire. And that actually is also a big tremor when you deal with selfish people versus selfless people. Two different conversations, right? But man, putting God at the center is holy shit. By far, without it, it's you're headed for destruction. Headed for complete and utter destruction.
Your ability to give me psychic fulfillment. And if you lose your ability to turn me on, give me psychic fulfillment, bring me comfort and pleasure, why shouldn't I divorce you?
Yeah, really good point. So he's talking about pleasure and all this other stuff. If you don't have God, that's the only thing that the relationship is sitting on. You're already bruising for a cruising there. Or cruising for a bruising, I should say.
Go out and find somebody else who turns me on a little more. And the problem is that leads to profound loneliness.
Correct. I'm going to favorite this. I love this clip. I'm going to put this way up here.
Because it condemns me to incredibly superficial relationships that are all based on your ability to please me. And if you please me, I'll stick with you. But if you lose your ability to please me, bye-bye.
Yeah, really good. And in like a 30-second clip. The best way to sum that up. Great job. Great job. Let's see what the comments are.
I'm out of here.
Why? Yeah, someone said marriage is biblical anyways. It's pointless to get married if you don't believe in God. Marriage is two people announcing to everyone in God that they are going to become one in holy union. Well said. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, at least like this For You page for the people that are seeing these clips are good. I will post clips about God and faith, etc. And people like come in the comments and they're like, oh, I'm not going to be fearful of an imaginary figure. Like, dude.
Stupid.
And it's like a lot. I'm getting this on TikTok and YouTube as well. I don't know where we're hitting or who we're targeting. I don't know. It's just organic. Oh my gosh. I pray for those people that they find it. Because once you find it, your direction on life changes completely. Completely. And look, I'm not the best Christian, Catholic. Of course not. Okay. I cuss. I say abrasive things. I hold abrasive opinions. But you guys got to remember, too, I have a huge responsibility to a lot of you, especially a lot of young men, to be strong and forceful and be the masculine role model that a lot of them don't have. So that's another conversation, too. But great clip. All right, back to the 304s.
She belongs to the streets.
Here we go.
Could have done better in your last relationship.
Honestly, I argued just so I could get attention.
Fatality. You serious?
Because I felt like, no. Hear me out. I felt like he just simply stopped giving me like loving attention, like a boyfriend, like.
The reason that he stopped giving you attention is because he only saw you as a sex object. That's it. Guys, let me make this clear for ladies. If a man truly loves you, admires you, respects you, and sees you as his wife, there will never, ever, ever be an inkling of doubt that you will have in your brain in terms of attention he gives you, the way that he treats you, the way that he takes care of you, the way that he speaks about you, the way that he speaks about your guys' union together. So if you're sitting there being like, oh, I just wanted to argue to get attention because he wasn't giving me it, I don't feel bad for you, woman, because you are responsible for picking the men in your life. True. And the only reason why you picked that guy is probably because he was edgy, rough around the edges, a little bit of an asshole. And those traits also come with traits that are toxic and could make a man cheat.
Fatality.
Yes, I know I'm the best in the world at this topic, but someone's got to educate women on this, because if I don't, nobody else will tell them the truth.
Hey, I love you. You look great. Like, you're so beautiful. Like, he just stopped doing that. And
Yeah, because he got what he wanted. He just fucked, like, you were just a sex object. And I guarantee you it was probably an athlete or like we already know what time it is. And like, yeah, this is not like rocket science, dude.
so I'd kind of like start arguments just so he'd be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I love you so much.
Yeah, and by the way,
Stop it. Get some help.
You think you could have done better?
guess where she's at right now? For those of you listening to the audio, not seeing the video,
She belongs to the streets.
she's in the streets, by the way, right now.
Your last relationship.
Honestly, I argued just so I could get attention.
And let me make it clear, this is not all women. There's a lot of great women out there. I don't want to like do all these clips and react to this stuff and get you guys to think that it's just all bad girls. Of course not. Of course not. But there are a lot of fucking stupid ones. Keep it all the way 1,000.
You serious?
Because I felt like, no.
That's
Hear me out. I felt like he just simply stopped giving me like loving attention, like a boyfriend, like, hey, I love you. You look great. Like, you're so beautiful.
Translation, she was chasing him. She was pedestalizing him. He had higher value. He was better. Non-human intrinsic value, because women get mad when I say that. Non-human intrinsic value, okay? He was probably taller, funnier, smarter, made more money, could protect. Like, he had a lot of things that she wanted and was attracted to. But those traits come with other problems, like being toxic and cheaters. So, hey, woman, why don't you just give a nice guy a chance? Well, I know that that's actually not biologically true as well, because the qualities that nice guys have are not arousing and attractive to women. I wish it was different. A lot of you guys would probably be married and have really great relationships. But the arousal and attraction conversation is a tough black pilling conversation for a lot of people. And when they find my content, they're like, oh my God, like, you're so abrasive and you're an asshole. No, I'm just speaking very raw. Pause. About this topic. So, if you're a nice guy out there, man, I know a few of them. I have some guys that are my friends that are that. And obviously be who you are, right? I think that there is a lid for every pot. Eventually will happen. But at the same time, I can remember the transition of like what I was to what I am now, and it's night and day. Guys, I don't know if any of you know this. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before. I might have, but hey, been on air for almost a decade, so who knows? But guys, when I first started dating, I was like the nicest guy ever. I would like let girls do what they want and like completely different to how it is now. So it is possible for you to change. You just have to deal with more girls, be put in more environments, and deal with more people. Now, some people, especially the religious people, aren't going to like that I said that. But to solve the problem that we have in 2026 as a man, you have to go that route. And isn't it weird how the second I started being like, yeah, no, I'm not tolerating that. Oh, wait, I have a backbone now. Oh, wait, I have self-respect. Everybody thinks I'm an asshole. That's how you know you're doing something right. Now, of course, don't actually go out of your way and be an asshole to everybody. I'm not saying that. But people classify being an asshole just for basic self-respect and boundaries versus what you had before. And what women want to do is they want to come into the situation, walk all over you, do what they want, but also LARP off of you and get the relationship when they want it as well. What you're not going to do is give them that. I don't care if you don't have girls. I don't care if you haven't been late in 2 years. I don't care if you're a scarcity mindset. I am telling you, as someone that has gone from one end to the complete opposite, don't do it. Do not reward women that are not worthy of a relationship with a relationship because of their bad behavior. I'm telling you, and the brother you've never had, man. Brother you've never had.
Beautiful, like, he just stopped doing that. And so
Anyway, next topic. We got a few more. Here we go.
No such thing as cheating before marriage?
Yeah, if you're not.
Married, you're single, like, because if you fornicate, you're cheating on God. It ain't gonna work out.
So until you're married, you're single. So if I'm dating a guy right now, but I talk to another guy, it's okay because I'm single?
Yeah, you're single.
There's no such thing.
And this is another example of women giving each other very destructive advice. And the reason why I have such a big problem with this is that women, but primarily young women, as Sean Duffy was speaking about to his daughter, the going to Harvard and liberalism and feminism thing and what they can do to take very good young women and turn them into not so good young women, right? The issue I have is that young women are so impressionable that the Alex Cooper stuff, it's why I go hard on her, by the way. It's not it's just you went after so many young women that are so impressionable. And they can just hear something on a podcast, see a clip, see a video, see a girl saying it, and then a bunch of other women in the comments going like, yeah, I agree. And it's just herd mentality. Very dangerous. And you could see this girl here is interviewing this, whoever, I don't know who this girl is, other girl is, a blonde girl. And she's kind of like shocked. But at the same time, she probably went back home and was thinking about it like, oh, really? Should I do this?
Nope.
That's cheating before marriage?
Yeah, if you're not married, you're single, like.
Some of the worst advice I have ever heard in my entire life. And here's the other thing too. If you fear God and you have a belief, right? You are not going to be as demonic of a person as this to actually feel okay when doing that. You're going to feel bad. You're going to have empathy. You're going to hate to be that person on the other end of it if it was happening to you. So, yeah, man. It's absolutely nuts, dude. And the issue I have is that young women are so impressionable that they hear this shit and this shit gets views and things like that I have to come on here and correct this because it's so dangerous.
Because if you fornicate, you're cheating on God. It ain't gonna work out.
So until you're married, you're single. So if I'm dating a guy right now, but I talk to another guy, it's okay because I'm single?
Yeah, you're single.
I have a solution. My solution to solve this problem is simply this. You got to take their phones away, you got to take their social media away, and only allow the men to control it. It's the only way we're going to get society back on track. Now, of course, is this realistic? No. Is this going to happen? No. But this destructive advice with women that are attached to this damn phone 24/7, it is in their face like this 24/7, right? Anywhere you go, coffee shop, gym, university, all the time they're on their phone. It's just indoctrination over and over and over again and brainwash. And a clip like this and clips like that just pop in. It is so dangerous because so many young women are so impressionable. And it's not their fault. That other women like Alex Cooper, who, yes, I call Dumb and Dumber with Alex Earl.
Stupid.
Because they have done so much damage. Go live your single life. Go be a hoe. Gluck, gluck, whatever. Versus guys like myself and Andrew and Tristan and Myron and Waller, all these guys being like, hey guys, quit being bitches. Go to the gym. Quit being soft. All of a sudden, that's toxically mad. Like, what? Like,
Stupid.
Where are we? What world is this? But this is how you solve the problem. You got to take their phones away, take the social media, complete ban. It will solve all the cheating. It'll solve mostly all of it, right? It'll solve this Well, it'll take a while. A lot of these girls are going to crash out. But for the next generation of women, we can get our country back on track. We can have a birth rate that is absolutely booming again. And a lot of women that love the men on this planet. Tell me how that solution wouldn't work. Because I think it would.
Single.
How long
long you been single? Make us feel bad.
Like 2.5 years.
So, guys, you can see that this clip is happening in Nashville. This looks like it's happening outside of Luke Bryan's bar. For those of you who've never been to Nashville, Broadway, all these bars are on the same street. It's mayhem. It's crazy. They're doing street interviews now. It's nuts. This girl is very attractive. Very attractive. Blonde, good skin, features are good, but she is dressed like a 304.
She belongs to the streets.
And the biggest red flag here is that why do you look like this and you've been single for 2 years?
Wow.
I don't know, I'm just waiting for the right one.
Also, very destructive advice. You'll also remember that you've probably heard this from a woman before. Oh, I'm just waiting for the right one. Oh, it'll come to me. Then they wake up one day, they're 41 years old with a bunch of cats, lonely in their box in the sky apartment, like, oh my God, what happened? I hate men now. But there's no reason this girl should be single. Translation, she's probably a 304.
She belongs
well,
to the
she is.
streets.
She's outside wearing that. 1. 2, she's probably dealing with athletes, influencer, like top tier guys, cool. But they just look at her as a sex object, which is crazy, right? Because this girl should be a wife. Like, she's not ugly. But the other thing, too, is this is a two-way street. Her actions don't get her to the position of being a wife. And this is also what most people don't tell women, which is like, hey, guys, you got to start acting like not the wife, but very in it day one with the guy you love, admire, and respect. Because if you don't, he's just going to be looking for the other girl that is. That's some of the best advice I can give you. You like a guy, you think he's great, etc. You need to start doing that. And don't wait. Don't listen to Alex Cooper and these idiots. They're fucking lying to you. They're actually doing more harm to you than good. I'm the only one helping you. Because I want you to get married and have a deep-rooted fear of God and also love your husband and have kids and live a very happy life that is fulfilling. This shit of being outside in Nashville on Broadway could be dopamine-filling, could be fulfilling, especially for her.
She belongs to the streets.
But at some point, the wall comes. You're not as attractive. You're not as desired anymore. And the only moment that women mature is the moment that they have to start buying their drinks at the bar. Very sobering moment for a lot of women. They sober up quick, like, holy shit, what happened? The wall is inevitable, dude. Absolutely inevitable.
What's your type?
I like somebody who's like grounded, down to earth.
Grounded.
Loves Jesus.
Also, I have another big problem with women that LARP on Jesus. Like, what are you doing? Okay, and I'm not going to take away if she's fit, cool. But you're not living your life the same way. See what I mean? You're outside, your tits are out, you're non-relationship, you're in your mid-20s. Like, what's going on here, dude?
Athletic, loves to travel.
Are you married, single?
Translation, I want a professional athlete that has money that can allow me to go on girls' trips. And like, why am I so good at this?
I'm single.
How long you been single? Make us feel bad.
Like 2.5 years.
Wow.
I don't know, I'm just waiting for the right one.
Yeah, usually when girls say this, you know that they're hoes.
She belongs to the streets.
Every single time. Every single time. Guys, like, with how bad... I'm going to tell you a story right now. Story time. I know you guys love my story times. So, last year, I'm walking outside of my place in Miami, right around Brickell area, okay? And I know this girl lives in this building, okay? She's cool, she's nice, etc. We've been friendly, nothing weird there except anything. I watched a full-grown man run from the front. I'm not trying to give away where I live, but like the front of the building. She was already like at the end of the sidewalk to cross into the other, more towards like Brickell Center, etc. This dude ran her down from the front of the building. And I was like, what the fuck's about to happen? Just to go up to her, because she told me after, and be like, oh my God, like I just thought you were the prettiest girl ever. Like, can I get your number? Dudes are running full fucking sprints to try and see if girls are single, can they get their number and see what they're about. So when girls like this are outside in Nashville wearing no clothes practically, she's more modest than most girls, but I think these are like, could see her ass in this, her tits are out, like Come on, bro. Come on, man. And wearing a cross, dude. Which is going to segue so good into a clip I have on Candace going at a girl wearing a cross, I think, in a video. This is a good seg. I swear to God, I did not plan this good. It just happened. But this is the slippery slope. And men are literally running women down to get their numbers, to talk to them, etc. So I don't buy this whole thing of, oh, well, I'm single because it's my choice and been single for like, dude, you don't look like, this girl's not ugly. Like, this girl's not fat, dude. Definitely not fat. Something's up here. Something's very up. And the comments, like another girl commented, bro, what the fuck? Another girl commented and said, single but probably entertaining 6 dudes minimum. Spot on. Someone said, remember, guys, they are never single. Most of them are situationships. That's true. Loves Jesus. What girls with tons of baggage say? Yep, they know the church. Always going to bail them out. Yeah, dude, everyone's getting good at this now. The air quotes, love to travel. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's always funny. Yeah, the one guy said, love to travel equals has money. We're doing such a good job. I have done it. Myron has. Andrew has. Everybody, I don't give a fuck who the messenger is. It is about the message. We're doing such a good job of educating men on this topic. Well, this is terrible, and you're educating men to hate. No, I'm not. I'm educating men to understand women to a point where nothing moves them. Hating is low IQ, which is why I don't hate anything. Like, come on, guys. Let's have higher IQ conversations. I know this is like you guys are used to being dumb. Stupid. But, yeah, we're educating. And it's important to educate men on this because when you, and this is why I'm so passionate, when you, well, one, the self-deletion stuff, I've saved a lot of guys. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but for anyone who wants to talk shit about me, that's my number one claim to fame. Walking a lot of guys off the fucking ledge over DM, over phone call. Hey, bro, like, I'm down bad right now. Like, my girl, whatever. Give me your number. I'll call you. Like, I am so good with, that's my claim to fame. I'll never apologize for doing what I do because of that. But the other thing is that when men understand how girls move, etc., these girls have to adjust for the environment and for the dating marketplace. Translation, they have to be more mindful now. They have to be more careful now. Or they just go down the deep, dark path of hating men and being misandrous, which apparently that's accepted. But nor here nor there. This is where we are, folks.
What's your type?
I like somebody who's like grounded, down to earth.
Grounded.
Loves Jesus.
And nothing wrong with that. Obviously, we love Jesus, of course. But this girl, minimum... Look, by the way, what I just said like a minute ago about the phone in the hand. Look, phone's in the hand, bro. All the time. Like, literally, like, on... All the time. Also, when you guys are like... Hopefully you're not like this anymore. I know some guys have. I've been in my past. I can admit this. Oh, my God, a girl's not texting me back. Like, oh. Bro, they're on their phones all fucking day. They're on TikTok. They're on Instagram Reels. They're everywhere with that fucking phone. Are there some exceptions to the rule? Yes. But don't argue the exception to the rule and be an idiot. Speaking of, our lovely Candace Owens, who actually had an opinion today that I very much disagree with. We might get into that after this, but let's play this clip.
A cross necklace, but then your shirt says "Made in Hell."
Yes, it does. Why are you wearing a cross on your neck?
Are you color coordinating with your necklace?
Because I don't see a cross as religious, so...
Okay. Just like you don't see a marriage as religious. So
I don't think that a marriage...
have a meaning. This is why it's like we're at a stage where people are like, what is a woman? Because they just go, well, we're going to call it a marriage, but we're going to sleep with other people. We're going to bring in prostitutes. We're going to outsource raising the kids, or we're never going to have kids. You're calling it a family. It's not a family, and this is what it is. The words have no meaning, right? I'm wearing the cross. Why? I don't know. I don't think of it as religious. Okay, well, Jesus Christ died on the cross.
You think that.
That's what you think.
Wait.
That's what you... believe in.
So why are you wearing the cross?
Because I think it's cute.
You think that the design is cute.
Yeah.
Wait, really
I
quick.
grew up Catholic. I was religious, and I'm not anymore. I don't have to believe in what you believe, and I can say that if
I didn't say you had to believe. I asked you a question.
But
I
you're
said, why are
telling
you
me,
wearing the cross?
Okay, and you're saying that the religious aspect of marriage is the only thing that matters. It's not, because people don't follow what you believe.
Okay, I asked you why you're wearing the cross, and you said because you thought it was cute.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
glad
do.
we got an answer. She's wearing the cross around her neck because she thinks it's cute.
You have a cross.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit, bro. Literally wearing a shirt that says "Made in Hell" and wearing a cross.
Oh, well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well, well.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
I love Candace Owens. You guys know that. I like Andrew Wilson too. I like them both. You don't have to agree with everyone's opinion on everything all the time to like them. But man, she cooked this girl. This is the feminism final boss, by the way.
A cross
right here. Fat, out of shape, insufferable. Like, I love Candace, man. She's great.
But then your shirt says "Made in Hell."
Yes, it does.
Why are you wearing a cross on your neck?
Are you color coordinating with your necklace?
Because I don't see a cross as religious, so...
Okay. Just like you don't see a marriage as religious. So
I don't think that a marriage...
have meaning. This is why it's like we're at a stage where people are like, what is a woman? Because they just go, well, we're going to call it a marriage, but we're going to sleep with other...
By the way, can you imagine a woman like 50 years ago saying some shit like this?
Nope.
This is how far it's come. Just in 50 years. It's a long time. Oh, man. What a time to be alive. What a time to be fucking alive, man. Oh, you already know this clip's going to be ridiculous.
Fatality. Lie about their intentions with women?
I do that.
Yikes. Oh. So you lie to men?
I do.
So the guys are lover boys.
Yeah, because it's like, I don't know.
You're a horrible person for that. Yeah.
Yikes,
You're
bro.
ruining men so that when their wives
someone got to
them,
do it.
I don't even know what these like demonic creatures are. I really don't. And as I just mentioned, like 50 years ago, you're not seeing girls ever speak like this. What happened? Well, I know what happened. But my God. You're ruining men, the girl says, and she replies, ha ha ha. Someone has to do it.
Stupid.
And let me state for the record again, this is not all women, but this is how a lot of them think. It's crazy, dude. Like, can you imagine if I went around publicly and said this shit? Or spoke about this? Which I'm too high IQ to not do that. But man... I don't even want to watch the rest of this.
Are you trolling or is
No,
this
I'm so serious. No, I'm actually so serious.
Do you think you're a bad person?
I think I'm a good person.
But you ruin men.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, they want to be with me and this and that, but it's like, I don't want to. Why do I have to? I don't have to fake it. If I just want to fuck you, then I just want to fuck you. Like,
But you're lying to them.
It's kind of like the turn on about it, you know?
Do you see men less than women?
Oh, definitely.
She belongs to the streets.
Bombacat!
So you're okay with ruining people for your own personal benefit?
I mean, it's my life.
Like, so you are.
I know some of you guys are probably raging out listening to this and watching this, but you notice how I'm not. I'm just kind of calm. It's how a lot of women think, by the way. Everything's about them, selfish, never for the betterment of other people.
Or the center of your universe.
Definitely, because it's my world. I live in it.
That's insane.
Just hurting someone.
W that girl, by the way. Hey, yo, shorty. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. That girl, I like that. The one that's pressing her. Not this one right here, the blonde.
Someone else even affect you? Like,
No,
do you
because it's
care?
not my. No.
Guys should not lie about their intent.
Never mind. Wait,
Intentions
is this
with
the
women?
same girl?
I
Hold
do
up. Never
that.
mind. I think that's...
Yikes.
is
So
that
you
the
lied
same
to
one?
men?
Hold
I
on.
You said,
do.
so the guys are lover boys.
Yeah,
If that's the same
because
one,
it's
I'm going
like,
to take back what I just
I
said.
don't know.
You're a horrible person for that.
Yeah.
Yikes,
You're
bro.
ruining men. So
Well,
that when their wives
Someone got
get
to
them,
do it.
Oh, well, well, well. Well, well.
And now to our new victim of the Ant Rant, Sabrina Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen. She's gotten it before, but here we go again. So I pulled this up to show you guys because I've talked about it a lot, and some of you might not know what I'm talking about. So Sabrina Carpenter is a very famous female singer, and she had over 100,000 people at her concert, by the way, primarily women, call men stupid and useless. I had to look for 35 minutes to find this tweet and video. 35 minutes. This has been so suppressed on purpose. Mind you, if I ever, Andrew, Myron, any of these guys ever came out and said some shit like this about women, we'd be front page of the New York Times. I don't want to play the song because I'm going to get hit with copyright, but she does say it.
What do you call it? Come on! Or is it? I don't know what. Well, maybe it.
Fatality.
So let me get this straight. Sabrina Carpenter is allowed to go to a concert, say how men are useless, and what else did she say? Stupid. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Sabrina Carpenter is allowed to go to a concert, sing to all of her female friends and fans. One more time, because I really need to just make sure I'm reading this right. Stupid, useless. Okay. Third time's a charm. So let me get this straight. Sabrina Carpenter is allowed to sing at her concert for her fans and say that men are stupid, men are useless. Mind you, it gets suppressed. I had to take 35 minutes to find the video. If I, Andrew, Myron, anybody in the space ever came out and said that about women, we would be the front page of the New York Times calling us misogynists. How is it that this behavior is accepted for women? Misandry is totally accepted worldwide. No one says anything about it. Now, mind you, I've said this as well. Hating something is very low IQ. It's low IQ because it's easy to do, and what is easy is not respected. Simple as that. Another thing, guys, as well as this. If you're dealing with a girl right now and you're dating her, etc., you need to find out what her music taste is. If she likes Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, etc., send her back to the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
The fact that a young woman could go to a concert and say that men are useless and stupid is the greatest example of how great a patriarchy is. And the reason it's so great is because the patriarchy, that has men pussy whipped, okay, it's just what it is the only society that allows women to go up there and trash them at the same time. Could you imagine that shit happening in the Middle East? Can you imagine that shit happening in Asia?
Nope.
Not a chance in the world. So again, ladies, when you attack the patriarchy and you say men are useless and men are stupid, the only reason why you're able to have that opinion is because of the society that men have built up. Unbelievable, dude. Literally unbelievable, man. And I wanted to pull this out of the vault because, and we'll save this as well, because it took me so long to fucking find it. Holy shit, man. It's absolutely crazy. Speaking of, more stupid women, bro.
Stupid.
This is our final video, and then we're gonna go on X and see what's popping with the news, politics, etc., and then end the stream. But listen to this bullshit. Sorry, everybody. Fucking OBS crashed out. I'll do this again. I hate when it does that. Sorry, guys. Always does that around the same time. All right, let's try this again.
There's something just so chic about being a divorcee. I feel like when men get divorced, they get 10 times more chopped, but
Stupid.
when women get divorced, we get 10 times hotter. I'm single and I actually can't wait to get a divorce.
These are the women running around in society, by the way. We covered a lot of red pill stuff tonight, okay? And the reason I do this is to continue to educate you guys. This is not all women, but this is a good portion of them. Just when you think you can't hear something more asinine and stupid, the next person just levels up the other. You have women like this being like, being a divorcee is so chic and I'm single and I can't wait to be a divorcee. Women literally saying this shit. Now, of course, a lot of it's for rage baiting, clicks, and content, and we're covering it. But there's also got to be a little bit of truth behind, hey, just kidding. And there usually always is. Man, if you guys watch my shit, you listen to my show, you're going to be fine. But what I urge all of you to do right now is if you have a friend, someone's down bad, etc., please put them onto my content. I'm saving people left and right here. Literally saving you left and right. How to avoid these girls, how to figure out what the signs are. And honestly, you don't really got to do much because nowadays most of them just tell themselves. They tell themselves with their social media, the way that they speak, the way that they act. And it's very easy to see why we're in the situation we're in, where men don't want to commit to them, and they see them as sex only. Not really a hard concept. But yeah, man, it's fucking nuts, dude. How fucking stupid, man. Anyway, I've been ranting for an hour and a half. I'm cooked. It's always funny when haters have things to say about that because it's like you couldn't even rant for 5 seconds without getting out of breath. Let's check Axe. It's always dangerous. What? Lindsay Clancy supporters, all women, by the way, cheering her as she arrives to court. She unalived her 3 children. This is madness, bro. Take the rights away, bro. Repeal the 19th. Crazy, bro. These people have power to send you to war. the fuck? Bro, Myron just said I swear to God, I just saw this. Myron said, how many more examples of female behavior do we need before we repeal the 19th? Telling you, dude. Data from Pew guys, when people hold up. Yawning, it looks like I'm crying. I'm yawning, I'm cooked, guys. When people will try and say, hey, you're just talking out your ass. Really? Because we're pulling up data and statistics. This is data from Pew Research. This survey was fielded from in 2020, so 6 years ago. A lot has changed, but still relatively recent. It's a poll. It says, has a doctor or healthcare provider ever told you that you have a mental health condition? They do conservatives, moderates, and liberals. And they do men and women, but let's look at the women part. For conservatives, not really, right? Moderates, it's a little bit more. For liberal women, it's like 50% of liberal women under 30 say they have a mental health condition, according to Pew Research in this study from 2020. I think most people already knew that. It's just fucking nuts, man. Huh. Crazy. Oh my God.
Killed her 3 children. To the people that are upset and believe that she killed her 3 children and she should be convicted, what would be your message to them?
I'm so grateful for you that you never experienced even remotely what women experience in postpartum. Yeah.
And hey, shut the fuck up, bro. Honestly.
She belongs to the street.
Stupid.
Suck it up. Go to the gym. Be in a healthy environment. Eat well. Don't go on TikTok. Don't go on social media. You'll have a great life. Oh my God, Ann, you're an asshole. You don't know what it's like to have kids. You're right. But what I do know is this. I've talked to a lot of women about this topic, specifically before we did our show today. Yes, is postpartum a thing? Absolutely. But you can absolutely starve it off. If you go to the gym, you eat healthy, you don't do drugs, you stay off TikTok, you allow yourself to be occupied mostly all the time, and you have healthy people around you, why am I the only one with solutions here? Oh, and it's not that simple. Okay.
Admittedly, she did admit to killing them, but the woman you see now.
You ever notice the lady here is saying she did admit to kill them, but there's no but, dude. Jail.
Now?
You can't have people like that running around society. Like what?
Is completely different from the woman who did that.
And even if you make that argument of, oh, that woman is completely... I'll even grant you that argument. Sure, let's just do it for argument purposes. You cannot commit triple murder. Well, and it's not triple murder, and she turned into a demon. Even I'll grant you that. Got to repeal the 19th Amendment, dude. We have to have a real serious conversation in this country about that. Because until we do, these problems are only going to get worse. We've given them way too much power, way too much freedom, and look what happens. And by the way, look at these other female-led countries. Look what happened to them. They're in the shitter. They don't export anything. They don't provide any value to the world. Terrible, man.
To her kids. And I think it's really difficult for people to hold to truths that may seem opposite simultaneously. She can be a wonderful, loving mother, and she did this horrible thing that she was so sick. I mean, I've seen the testimony every day. I can see how devastated she is, and I believe her. I believe her.
I believe her. Why? I believe her. Well, why do you believe her? Because I do. She's a woman.
Stupid.
All right. As you guys know, I like Candace a lot, but I think she said something I don't agree with. I saw this earlier.
Corinne writes, I know you're busy, but I'd love to know your thoughts on a Lindsay Clancy case in Massachusetts. I made my thoughts clear on this the moment that she was arrested, the moment that it made the news. Lindsay Clancy is obviously not guilty. There are a fleet of doctors who should be imprisoned for what they put her on. I regularly speak out against Big Pharma. They get away with murder all the time. And in this case, they are getting away with the murder of really her 3 children, but also completely destroyed her life. Lindsay Clancy, in my opinion, is not guilty. She was put into an intentional psychosis when she probably just needed to give her kids away for a weekend to get better, but they constantly give you these drugs that do not make things better. And the cocktail of 10 pharmaceuticals that she was on is absolute madness. Absolute madness. Corinne writes, I know you're
You guys know I have a deep, profound respect and admiration for Candace Owens. You guys know that. I like her. I like Andrew Wilson. We talked about this debate. I've said this many times, but I feel like I have to repeat it. Candace, I'll grant you all of that. Sure, grant you all of it. There has to be penalty, dude. I agree with you on the big, 100%, sure. But there has to be accountability. There just has to be. There has to be. You just can't get away with this and be like, oh, okay, it's fine, just like, whatever. And I'll actually speak on this in favor of Candace here. So as you guys know, I have a very strong position on not doing drugs. I've never done one in my life. Drinking alcohol, which I've done, but like, can't be addicted, right? But I have a very strong position on being sober, not being an idiot, because you have to be. I'm responsible for a lot of people. A lot of people are trying to put their kids through college that work at Ant Digital and for all consult. Like, I have to be on it. Business owner is a different world, okay? And I can remember a few years ago, I was dealing with this sort of, it's like a pelvic pain. And they couldn't figure out what it was. I had like prostate exam. I had all this crazy shit done to me. And their final solution was to give me a muscle relaxer, right? To just get a lot of muscles in that area to figure it out. Okay, cool. They gave me a muscle relaxer. And are you comparing this to women in childbirth? Just let me finish. They gave me this muscle relaxer. And one of the side effects was crazy thoughts, like neurological shit, okay? Now, mind you, I'm a very positive person. I go to the gym, etc. And are you about to contradict yourself? Hold up. So I start taking this stuff. And I remember just like sitting there one night by myself. And I started to get really dangerous thoughts. And as you guys know, I'm the most positive, but positive, optimistic person you've ever met. Genuinely. So when this happened, I called my mom. And I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but like I want to do some weird shit. Like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't me. And my mom was like, flush them down the toilet, get rid of them, call me, whatever. And I'm like, I'm fine. But I was just sitting on my couch, and it was like probably a week after taking these muscle relaxers. So on one end, I can understand muscle relaxers compared to what they put her on in Big Pharma are 2 different games. Sure, right? But if I would have went out there and did something to other people, which I would never do, but the drugs can make you do crazy shit, or do it to yourself, I, as the man, am fully accountable and responsible for everything in my life, good, bad, ugly, great, regardless if I'm sober or not sober. That's a tough position. People aren't going to like that. But I will grant Candace that point on this. About the Big Pharma and sure, right? I've heard that argument a ton of times. You have to have accountability. You have to. And it doesn't seem like in this case, especially with the women on TikTok, the Lindsay Clancy stuff, well, it had to have been the husband, and his presence just made her like, what? So if you're going to go the argument of Big Pharma and drugs and making you go great, I can attest just to being on a very simple, basic muscle relaxer a few years ago. How dangerous my thoughts became. Mind you, this is why I'm anti-drug, I'm so, like, I don't even have shit in my place. And I'm not around people that do, like, I just don't want to do that. So, I'll even grant Candace that, but guys, there's got to be accountability when it comes to this case, and it comes to you in your life. All right, see, like, this bullshit here is crazy. Like, the Lindsay Clancy did nothing wrong. You guys are fucking stupid.
Stupid.
Come on, man. Oh, wow. I don't know if this is real or not, but it says young man broke up with his girlfriend of 3 years over her opinion on Lindsay Clancy. Just so I don't know if this is true. Probably not true, but let's just go through it. She texted and she said, "So you're really breaking up with me over a fucking opinion?" And then he says, I'm not breaking up with you over an opinion. I'm breaking up with you because that opinion showed me a fundamental difference in our values." Very, very true. It goes in alignment with what I said earlier about putting God at the center, etc. By the way, really quick, these women here that are saying Lindsay Clancy did nothing wrong are all women that no one wants to have sex with. Keeping it all the way 1,000, dude. Like, you just have that Karen, don't touch me energy. And men don't even want to sleep with you anyway. So who cares? Like, genuinely, who cares? But this is a bunch of angry, liberal, feminist women, dude.
Lindsay Clancy!
I know this is AI, but this is what these girls look like, dude. All the same fucking archetype, dude.
It's actually 5. Actually, I believe.
And that's why 2 plus 2 is 4.
It's actually 5. Actually, I believe it's 5.
No.
2 plus 2 is 5.
Uh-huh. And why do you think it's 5, Candace?
Because I feel that. Because I feel that I know that.
No.
And the fact that you're getting so defensive about it is very sus.
Nothing suspicious about it. You're just wrong.
Okay, well, then why would you be so defensive about alternative narratives and alternative theories about 2 plus 2?
It's not a theory, honey. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Because we don't know that. That could be just what you're shoving down our throats. What they want you to believe that it's 4.
Very good impression. Why is it?
She sent her husband on her and then killed her 3 children. The Clancy case, I thought. So, to be honest, when I saw the Lindsay Clancy case, I thought pretty cut and dry. She sent her husband on an errand and then killed her 3 children. Death penalty. And then I saw about half the women on the internet coming to her defense, and I thought, okay, is there something I'm missing here? So I asked my wife what she thought. And my wife, who's a very reasonable and rational woman, said, well, if you look at her diary entries, there's a reason why a lot of women can sympathize with the feeling of being overwhelmed or failing as a wife and a mother, because your hormones can go nuts after having kids. When you also look at the various medical providers she had and the fact that she was on a strange cocktail of 13 different types of drugs, from antidepressants,
well, that's a problem. Big problem.
to mood stabilizers,
Bro,
et cetera, you can also suggest that that's probably a bad thing and something to consider. However, this is the part where my wife is a reasonable and rational person. She still sent her husband on an error while she systematically strangled the life out of her 3 children, and that's evil and deserves to be punished. So one can have sympathy for these other things while still making sure that the preponderance of your sympathy goes to the children who were murdered. By the way, for the women out there that think the husband actually did it, because after all, he's a Gemini and we all know how they are, yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. In fact, you probably shouldn't be allowed to walk outside without a helmet.
Yeah, awesome clap, by the way. Did I offend you with my common sense? That's hilarious. I agree with them. I think that's a pretty good breakdown. As you guys know, I'm open to my opinion changing and being wrong all the time. I can see both sides of this, but I agree with his wife's assessment of that. I do. But hey, what do we know? We're just women-hating men, right? What the fuck? Oh my god. Jack Posobiec, W. Criticizing a woman is not misogyny. Very true. Yeah, everyone's catching on, man.
Nigga, ain't no way.
Bruh.
How much has the GoFundMe gone up to?
I'm just gonna let you look at it, and I'm not even gonna fucking say it, bro. Let me just.
Oh my God,
bro,
that is
caught.
crazy.
We're so fucking
$950,000, huh?
Bro,
the 2 million is the goal. Is the goal continuously moving up? I'm assuming.
I guess she said, you know what? Fuck it, we're going for two now.
Wow, bro. Wow. Yeah, we live amongst monsters, dude.
She's already admitted that she killed her kids. The defense has conceded she killed her kids. They're in trial right now. She already confessed to all this shit, and she jumped out of the fucking, because the reason why she's in a wheelchair is because she jumped out of a window and cracked her back. And then she tried to kill herself before she got arrested. So, like, there's overwhelming evidence that she killed the kids. So the defense isn't, saying she didn't do it. They're actually going to take the stance of she was mentally insane, and that she, she wasn't in her right mind, and they're trying to plead insanity. That's what they're trying to do now. So,
and that would admonish her of the guilt, and then
precisely.
she would just be admitted into
a psych ward,
mental rehabilitation, a psych ward. Yeah.
Andrew Wilson. Suicidal empathy is now homicidal empathy. Bruh. Let's see what Andrew has to say about this. Yeah, Andrew and Candace are going back and forth on Twitter. Still. Speaking of that debate, this is funny. This guy's really good at impressions.
Oh, maybe mass migration is used as a weapon. Well, of course it is. It always has been.
You guys know who that is by the sound, Tucker?
And always will be.
This guy's good, dude. What the fuck?
First ever prom, her first ever prom. We're both nervous.
So fucking scared.
What the fuck? Oh my God. And I want to cover this right before we wrap, because I didn't get a good clip on this, and I think we need to get this out on social media. And I'm cooked, so hopefully it's good.
Retarded to kill her husband.
Bro, that's hilarious.
I was shocked. I'm just going to be really blunt with you guys. I thought that she was actually quite stupid. I was shocked. I was actually quite stunned. I didn't think that she was a very smart person at all. I had good reason to believe that going in, but I didn't think that she was a particularly good interlocutor. She never made any points at all. She would just kind of ramble. It was just kind of incoherent babble and ramble. And anytime I would get to the point or make her address an actual point, she would go back to rambling incoherently. She didn't understand what inductive reasoning was. I even spelled it out in a very, very simplistic way. Inductive reasoning would be like if, then, and, or. So if I'm 20 minutes away from my job, and I'm supposed to be there in 5 minutes, then I can assume I'm going to be late, right? That would be an inductively reasoned out position. When I explained that to her and then asked her to give me her induction for how we get to Israel, TPUSA, France, and all these other people who are involved in the conspiracy to murder Kirk, she actually didn't even understand what I was asking her.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, it was that was the toughest part of the debate, was that she actually didn't even understand half of what I was saying.
Explain that, actually, because you do a ton of these debates, and is it sort of like one of those things? I have a good friend who's a professional tennis player. He said it's really hard to play against bad tennis players because you can't actually serve and volley like you've been training for years to do. You actually it gets easier if the quality of the opponent
You're
is better.
anticipating where a pro would hit it back, and they just hit it some other spot.
Yeah, exactly. Is it kind of like that, where the person across from you is not even keeping up with the basic blocking and tackling of a debate? It's almost more challenging for you in that way?
Well, here I'll demonstrate it for you. So you just asked me a pointed question. What your pointed question was is, hey, Andrew, if somebody doesn't know what they're doing on the other side of this thing, does it actually make it more difficult to do this thing, right? Now, I could just say, well, yes, of course, and then we would move on with the conversation. But if I was going to be Candace Owens, I would say, well, what we're talking about here is how I feel and about how I feel about the various things that I'm talking about when it comes to debate. And you say that I'm not a very skilled interlocutor, but we have evidence of me being a skilled interlocutor. You can look back at all the times that I've done interlocuting with other people, and I think that we can all see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So you see,
enough.
like, you see how that's completely unhelpful.
Yeah, they've been going at each other, guys, a lot on Twitter, and it's been crazy. Here's my position on the Charlie Kirk debate between Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. If you're going off of vibes and energy and how you feel, you're probably going to pick Candace. If you're going actual on a logical debate structure, asking questions, where's the evidence, etc., you pick Andrew Wilson. I like them both. I think they're both very talented. This is not me playing Switzerland. I don't need to do that. I think they're very necessary, very essential to this movement, and ultimately finding out what the hell happened to Charlie. I think we all feel that way. But if you're there for vibes and aura, then you pick Candace. If you're there for actual structured debate, hey, what's your evidence of this? And then she's like kind of backing off her claims a little bit, or, oh, I feel this or I feel that. You can't really judge a winner, but at least to my position, you can judge an actual logical debate, and instead of going off of vibes and aura and feeling. So that's where I stand on that debate. It just is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I do see both sides. I mean, the thing, Andrew not knowing the main charge, which is aggravated murder, different terminology in state of Utah, and the additional 6 charges on top of that, was not a good look. You have to admit that, right? But if you're actually looking at the whole debate itself, he was asking her very specific, hey, what is your evidence of that? And it would just be like, well, this is my opinion, or this is how I feel about this. And I have some sort of inkling that her lawyers, they probably briefed her on this. If you're going to say anything crazy or anything that you can't really verifiably prove yet, you have to use the my opinion or I feel to be a little bit safer. Versus, no, I know definitely for sure that Tyler Robinson was a patsy and he didn't do it. Now, she did say 0% when Patrick Bet-David said, hey, what percent is Tyler Robinson the killer? And Andrew Wilson said like 75 to 80%, and Candace said 0%. And I see people being like, well, the fact that Andrew Wilson said 75% means that the debate is already over. No, you're allowed to still be skeptical, but still believe something to be mostly true. So I think both of them, you can make the argument, won the debate in their own way. But most people are stupid and they're just going off of, oh, the gotcha moment and the clip moment and the feelings and vibes. They're going to go with Candace, which I like, by the way. I like her a lot. But if you're going off a logical, structured side of the debate where Andrew was just saying, hey, what's your evidence that Tyler Robinson was a patsy? And she's saying, well, my opinion is this or I feel this. It's not really that stable ground. So that's my position on the whole debate. They're obviously still going at each other. They don't like each other very much. But yeah, man, that's where we are with this. That's where we are with this debate.
Is after Charlie was killed.
And then what did you say?
And I
and how
said,
did she
I
reply?
told her because I knew that Charlie had told me multiple times, and multiple, I'll say 2, maybe 3 times I'd heard it. Then I was at Aspen when he repeated
and I've
it.
said it was a miasma. This would come up in conversation, and everyone would say
We all just knew if something happened to Charlie that Erica would take over, but we didn't think that hard about it because we just kind of assumed Charlie was going to be with us for the next 56 years. But at that point, I told her before it was public information, Erica, I think, is going to take over. And, she's very conservative. She's Christian. This is what Charlie wanted. The board was informed about this when Charlie was alive. Like, this is what's going to happen. Like, you don't have to go there. I remember because like a chill went down my spine. And I said, well, don't say that, Candace. Like, Erica's going to take over. And you kind of heard her react like, oh, okay. okay, like it kind of
it
takes
takes on
guard.
a different.
Wednesday, and then JD hosted the show on the Monday. So I remember I flew back, landed in the airport, and I believe I was talking to Candace, and she said something that I've not publicly communicated yet, but basically it was that if the wrong people take over the organization, and she said this, I'll never forget it. She says, "I will burn down that organization. I swear to God."
I want to make it super. So I have a bunch of questions for you, and I want to make it super painless, right? So no traps, no gotchas. I'm just going to ask them direct. And I think that as long as they're not loaded, if they're loaded, you should not respond yes or no. But as long as they're not loaded, if I just directly ask them, I'm hoping that you'll just give me a direct answer. So here's the questions that I have.
Wait, before we get into that, I would like to just reply to that. So just
Yeah, she knew she was cooked in that moment. See, that's what I mean. You can go at the angle of, well, Andrew won the debate because he was asking her very poignant, direct questions, and she was going off the I feel or it's my opinion. I'm not going to say she's backing off the claims that she would make on her show, but she wasn't going as hard because I'm sure she got briefed legally prior to this. But my thing is, I think she's fucked because once they do, the trial happens with Tyler Robinson and they convict or whatever, regardless if you think that happened, it didn't, it's irrelevant. That's when the hammer of Erica Kirk's coming down on Candace. That's probably what's going to happen. And I think that's also why Erica met with Candace, to be like, hey guys, I met with her. I tried to tell her this shit and she never stopped.
just to be clear, we agreed to debate our claims, and then I agreed publicly that I have no issues having a conversation with you about other things that I've discussed that were outside of the court hearing and things like other evidence that's come across our lap and things that we've been speaking about. But I just do want to make it clear to viewers that for whatever reason you think that you have a right to sort of depose me.
I'm not deposing you. I just want to ask.
Yeah, she got nervous. I wish they would debate again and Myron would moderate. That would be nice. But they're not. She is not debating again, bro. Fuck no. All right, let's check what else is on X. I'm gonna wrap here. We've been on live for 2 hours. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. Polymarket. Just in, women now hold 176,000 more U.S. payroll jobs than men, reversing a gap that favored men by nearly 7 million jobs in the 1990s. I mean, yeah, we've created a lot of office jobs and admin jobs and HR jobs for women to collect salary on. And you got to also remember, a lot of men are going back to blue collar. A lot of men aren't going back on payroll. They're more of contractor. And I don't think that that's going to be considered under payroll, right, for this study. But yeah, man, it's fucking nuts. That's what they wanted. They wanted rights and to be able to work, right? Oh my God. Bro, Sophie Rain's taking her victory lap on this.
That's the $42 million in back taxes you owe on your lifetime OnlyFans earnings, or you can stop doing that and doing something noble and worthwhile. And I look forward to celebrating your wins there.
And this is where it got him, you know. I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank. But there is one thing that James and I agreed on. One of his promises that he made is that teachers don't deserve this and teachers deserve more money. And that was his whole thing, is he was going to take my $42 million tax bill that he was probably so excited to get, now doesn't have that, he can't donate to teachers. So I'm going to start clearing teachers' classroom wishes. He wanted to talk about me during his entire campaign. And
You have two choices if I'm governor.
Are you married or in a relationship?
Me? And they still get days. That's what I'm trying to explain here. The discrepancy is wild.
Are you married or in a relationship?
Me?
Chris.
Well, I have a couple ladies.
Couple.
But I'm not married.
Couple.
Right. That keyword.
I'm not married.
And they fit all your needs.
What benefit does marriage provide to men, ladies? Can any of you name one?
Yeah. What? Two.
Nothing. Maybe like consistent pussy. That's really.
You don't even get that.
What was the question? If she's a good wife,
I said,
maybe yes.
ladies, name one.
bro.
I'll make it easier for you. Name one benefit men get from marriage besides, I'll say tax break. Besides that, what other benefits do men get from marriage that they don't get in a regular relationship?
I would say that if they want to reproduce with the female, they will get a child. That's a blessing.
Okay.
You can do that without. You can do that without marriage. Without marriage.
You can fornicate.
You can do anything without marriage.
Okay, so
but
then what's the,
I think it's just more so an emotional
what's the purpose
thing.
of getting married then?
I think it's more of an emotional thing.
It's a
you
covenant.
Want it.
It's a covenant between you, the man, and God himself.
So you
okay.
Yeah.
You?
Just something emotional that you would want. Like it's not a need. Obviously, you don't need to be married to do anything.
Okay.
But if you're somebody that believes in love as much as wanting to be married and wanting that title of being married and writing, signing whatever papers and stuff like that, and that means something to you, then that's what it's about.
Okay, ladies, let me ask you a question. Let's go into a dream scenario here, okay? What if, let's say that you spent 10 years building up your business,
10
right?
years.
And you've turned it into a multi-million-dollar business. That is, you guys are killing it. You guys are making great sales. Every year gets better and better. And you guys are absolutely killing it, hiring more people, etc. Business is thriving, right? And someone comes in and says, hey, I want to partner with you and work with you. I'll do your advertising and everything else like that. And we can really blow this thing up. However, if the business relationship fails, they take 50% equity from the relationship. From the business relationship. Would you go into business with this advertiser?
If you're willing to take a risk, yes.
Okay, so raise your hands if you would go into business with this advertiser knowing that if it severs, you will lose 50% of your equity in the business that you built. Give me raise your hands yes if you would do it.
I'm a risk taker, so yes.
Okay, so what, 4 or 5 of you would do it? Lose
I think
50%?
it's just about trusting that person, or not even trusting it, but trusting their work ethic. If you're...
No, but keep in mind, they're incentivized to leave because they get 50% equity.
Mm-hmm.
So would you still go into business with this individual?
Like they can leave anytime?
Yes.
Then absolutely not. We have to make a
fault.
contract. We have to establish a contract and boundaries. And if you don't fulfill your needs, then I take the 50% or whatever that you claim that's 50%. But if I somehow fail, then you can take the 50%. But it has to be mutual. It can't be one way or the other. It can't.
Interesting.
It can't be one-sided.
Okay, so who else would go into business? So do you guys change? Who would go into business with this person knowing that they're going to get 50% equity if they leave, no matter what, no faults of their own? Which of you would go into business with this advertiser? None of you? One?
I would.
I would still say yes, yeah.
It depends
3?
on the relationship. I will have to see their drive for the business, and I will have to see if they're goal-driven to strive to make it the business great. If they're not and they're like, okay, whatever happens, then obviously I'm not going to go into business.
I think you're missing the
And
point that they can leave
for
at any time and get 50%. They don't have to do anything. They can
Of
literally
course,
leave.
I mean, that's your business. At the end of the day, you have to trust your
try.
business.
You have to try. Either you fail trying, but as long as you tried in the first place, instead of having, this could happen, this can happen. What if I actually tried this? No,
So you're
even
changing your
if
mind
it
again.
happens, I know at the end of the day, I tried. I done my part.
But let's also say they take it.
From the married chick. First it was...
Married chick.
First it was, I'll take the risk. Then it was like, no, I'm not going to do it if they can walk with 50%. Now you're saying that you will do it.
No, but you did like a little terms and conditions. You said that regardless, like let's say for instance they don't even put in their portion, regardless they're gonna get 50%. You didn't say that before, but if you said that prior to that, I would have been like, okay, then absolutely not. We have to establish a boundary and we have to make like a contract. Whether we try and let's say for instance he doesn't try, right? I'm getting my 50% or whatever you just said. But if it's like he actually tries, then okay, he can take his 50%. I don't mind. But I'm a risk taker. I'm not gonna sit here and stay stagnant in my life and be like, what if I actually tried this? What if I actually tried this? No, even if I try this and if I fail, then I know at the end of the day I tried my part. He tried his part. That's how businesses flows. They go up or they go down. It's non-linear. It's not one way.
And then we're trusting the business as well. How well is this business?
Prenup? Are we talking about a prenup
here.
I know you're married, but you missed the whole point of that.
Bro,
I don't know if you were
yeah.
listening or not. You missed the entire point of
Yeah,
that.
she missed it. Yeah, went right over her head.
This is all in regards
that she
to
would lose
marriage.
50%. She would lose 50%
What?
just off of them. They
They're
don't have
trying to
put in the
relate it
work.
to marriage. It just doesn't relate.
Marriage is religion based.
It's a prenup.
I feel like marriage don't
Yeah,
matter.
that's exactly
If
what
it's
we're
about
talking about.
prenuptial
Prenuptial
marriage don't
agreement.
matter.
Ladies,
Do not sign
ladies. That is basically what I just described as marriage. Like, your wife can leave you at any time, and she's highly incentivized to do so because she can get 50% of your assets without bringing anything back to you in return.
Yeah, but there's an emotional aspect to marriage.
You love that person.
Yeah.
That's the person that
There's
you
an
married.
emotional aspect.
Emotions
There
change.
has to be
Using
an emotional
business
aspect.
for
Of
marriage,
course.
that's
Even if
something
emotional
completely
aspect
different.
change,
Hold on.
it's not a
Who
business
said it? Who said
contract.
it's an emotional thing? Who said that?
I did.
Okay. Let me ask
It's
you a
not a
question.
business contract.
Let me ask
It's
you
an
a question.
emotional thing.
Let's say you're super happy and you're skydiving, right? You're excited, you're happy, etc. But you know that your parachute only has a 50% chance of deploying when you jump out the plane. Even though you're excited and happy and emotionally, satisfied, would you still jump out the plane?
Of course not.
Okay, exactly.
Well, that's life or
life
death.
or death.
That's life or
Exactly.
death versus marriage or divorce. That's not.
Well, hold on. For many men, marriage
No
is life or death for us.
See, like, I don't even get mad because these girls don't understand, like, the male experience, the male journey. It's not on them to. Divorce is literally life or death for every single guy on the planet. You lose your house, you lose your money, 50% of it. You probably lose custody of your kids. If she claims some crazy shit on you, it doesn't even have to be true or not. They'll come try and escort you out. Yeah, man.
Too, because we lose all of our money.
You don't lose all of it, just 50%.
What's that?
Stupid.
A lot of money.
Well, yeah,
See, yo,
it is.
Bro, these girls are retarded.
Yo, have you guys caught on the fact? No, hold on. Stop,
But
stop,
do
stop,
you
stop,
not?
stop.
But do you not have to agree on 50% or not? It doesn't
You
have to
don't
be
have to get
50%.
married.
Stop.
Some men want to.
Nor
and
does it
that's-
have to be 50%.
Girls, wait.
It's incredible that, see how when I shifted around and they're taking the risk, they change their mind like, fuck no, I wouldn't do that. But when I
because
say,
that's life or death. But
Girls.
even so,
Wait. Do you realize that when men get divorced, they lose their money, they lose their marital home, they lose their kids, they get financially ruined. A lot of guys commit suicide after it.
Yeah.
Like, men effectively lose their lives when they get divorced. So I find it interesting how you wouldn't
Some
jump out
of
of a
them.
plane with a 50% chance of it deploying because even though you're emotionally happy, but you expect the guy to, do the same exact thing when it comes to marriage and divorce. And, this kind of just comes
Myron.
back what I was saying. What?
I got a video to illustrate this as well.
Yeah.
It's very.
Okay.
Is it?
Robert7108 has donated $50 and says you girls want a guy.
Worked since she's been with me. I had 8 Mesa police officers show up at my house, surrounded me, served me with the order of protection, and said that I had 3 minutes to be off of the property and out of the house. Said she loved me but wasn't in love with me. It's her.
And I feel bad, man, because there's just some people you can't save. And, man, I just wish I could save everybody.
Backwards. Okay, we could still be amicable and, go through this thing. I never anticipated this. I've been living on the street about a little over a month.
Fatality.
This guy is now homeless because his wife said that she didn't love him anymore, regardless of the feelings. He got surrounded at his home. He never touched her. He never raised his voice, never did anything wrong. He even explained it. And you can tell if mannerisms are off of someone. And now he's living on the street with a shirt that looks like he's worn for a month, out in 100+ degrees in Arizona. And he's still, up until that last court hearing, it sounds like, had to pay the mortgage payments on a house that they kicked him out of. See why I tell y'all not to get married, bro? Like, it's just retarded. Like, what is the point? What benefit do you get as a man?
My wife, 14 years, went to the Mesa City Court judge, and he granted an order of protection. What it really operated as was an order of eviction.
So what was her complaint?
I don't know. It didn't say. It doesn't say on the order.
That's also pretty sauce.
I still to this day don't understand. I've never raised my voice one time to my wife, and I don't.
See that moment, like the way he said it, like, I believe him, dude. Like, we believe all women, right? Just believe all. I believe her. What about this guy? Y'all want equality? Let's have some equality.
Drink, I don't smoke.
And you own this house?
Yeah.
Does she make any payments on it?
No.
So you're making the mortgage payments on this house?
Up until very recently, yes.
Interesting.
When I had the 3 minutes to leave, she took my phone. They wouldn't let me go back into the house. I said, it's my house. That didn't matter. There was no concern for that whatsoever. That was not even a factor. And she came out with a bag and said it had clothes in it. It had 3 winter coats in it. And it was 108 degrees that day.
Bro, if you're a man, dude, the world treats you like shit. I'm going to keep it all the way 1,000. And this is another black pill example of that. Holy shit, dude.
I'm in the automobile business. Certainly not something that I've ever anticipated for my life. I'm not doing well out here. It's very hard. I think I feel for a lot of them.
Yeah. Look, that's what divorce does to a lot of guys. Obviously, that's one dude that talked about it on Instagram. But I tell guys all the time, it's not worth it getting married to women nowadays, especially
spot on
with the state involved. And I know, be very candid with you guys, I don't think most women offer reciprocated levels of value.
That's sad.
Based on what men provide for women. You guys want a guy
Just
that's
Dalen,
tall,
thanks
has
for coming to
money,
the chat, dude.
status, smart, charming, charismatic.
Everything's
Fine.
good, man. We're about to wrap up the stream. We've been on for about 2.5 hours. A lot of value tonight. Rewind it, man. A lot of red pill stuff covered. We covered Lindsay Clancy case. We covered the Sean Duffy telling his daughter no to Harvard. We covered that all at the beginning of the show.
Fine. If you want all that, then I'm not going to be monogamous and have one girl. I think the only way men can really deal with this shit is don't get married and have multiple women. That's how you combat this bullshit, because we've clearly gotten to a point now of diminishing returns when it comes to relationships and dealing with women.
Fellas, that video should tell you never get married to these bitches, bro.
Bro, this shit's crazy. I'm not trying to scare you guys from marriage and how amazing that can be. But man, they took that dude out of his house that he pays a mortgage on because his wife complained. And they had to show no evidence. They just went and got him. And now he's homeless living on the street. Again, proves Myron right. Marriage is life or death for every single man on the planet. And I know guys that are about to get married, and they're retarded. Keep it all the way 1,000. Really fucking stupid. And they're marrying the wrong girls, 1. 2, the girls are hoes, all the way 1,000.
She belongs to the
Girls
streets.
cheat on them, like, and then they're going to get the state involved. Like, I'm trying to save your life, dude.
Never.
Bro,
Not worth it, bro.
And I find it interesting how the girl sat here and said, because I gave them the scenario, build up a business for 10 years, it's worth millions of dollars, and they're saying like, oh no, I would give, I would totally go into business with this advertiser and potentially lose 50%. None of you would fucking do that.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
I stand
No,
on
you
business.
wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
You?
Yes, I would. I would. 100%. I would.
Man,
The thing is, when it comes to
Anyone
marriage,
that works that
it
hard
is-
would not be willing to sacrifice 50% of their money.
Oh, very much I would. If it's for the
Comedy.
man that I love, very much I would. And I stand 10 toes down on that.
Wait,
I stand
you're
close
a
to my man.
all currently.
Huh?
You're a man all currently. Like is he like
My
like
man, yes,
paid?
I would. Yes, I don't care. I really don't care. It's not about the money. I'm the type of person. I'm not about like materialism. I'm not. So whatever happens, happens. I didn't sign up a prenup with him. He's always had this mentality that whoever I get married to, I'm gonna have a prenup with him. He saw the way my mentality.
Who's the breadwinner in your
He
relationship?
pays
You or
the
him?
rent. He pays the rent, and then there's times where I paid the rent.
Bro, something's off with this chick, dude. Very masculine, very argumentative, very abrasive. How much you want to bet if I pull her Instagram up, she's looking like a 304?
She belongs to the streets.
too.
Hold on.
Prior to him moving in.
Wait, is he the breadwinner in the relationship?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Is he a six-figure earner?
Well, he has the business. So.
All right, and are you a six-figure earner too, or no?
No, I'm not. But I would say
Damn.
that if it was up to me, I would pay all the bills. I don't care. If he invests it to crypto or whatever he wants to use it for something to multiply that money, then he can go ahead and do that. But I'm not going to sit here and control him if he wants to utilize that money for something.
I'm not going to lie, bro.
If he came to you tomorrow and said, I want you to sign this post-nuptial agreement, would you sign it?
Yes, I would. I swear to God, I would. Because I don't need nothing from
Bro,
you.
you heard that.
If that's the case, if I'm going to divorce you, I don't want nothing from you. If it comes to a man that I'm divorcing with, I don't want nothing tied to you. No money, no house, no car, nothing.
If you're watching the stream.
All right, bro. This chick's insufferable. Absolutely insufferable. All right. All right, bro. Well. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here tonight. Welcome to the stream. If you guys are tapping in late, please rewind. We covered the Lindsay Clancy stuff. We covered Sean Duffy telling his daughter no to Harvard. A lot of red pill stuff. Really great episode tonight. A lot of value. Apologies for the disconnection and slow shit early on. That was kind of annoying. But nor here nor there. Thank you all for being here tonight. We'll probably be back on Saturday or Sunday. And covering the news, red pill stuff. And guys, feel free to send clips to our Instagram. I'll pull it up for you guys right now for those of you that don't have it. Because some of these clips are from some of you guys tonight. At Standin on Pod on Instagram, you can see we're posting a lot of clips. Getting a lot of engagement with you guys. Appreciate it. Shout out to you guys as always. Also, please follow us on TikTok, at Standin on Pod as well. I need to figure out why our merch is down right now. That's like another thing I'm just thinking of at the moment. It's kind of been down all day today. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I'll have to fix that, but it should be back up once you guys are seeing the stream. But standinonmerch.com, get your merch, help support our show. And yeah, guys, that is it and that is that. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. And I will see all of you so very soon. Later, everybody.